Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining Wednesdays with Wallis. Welcome. And got so many things to talk to you about today, and I always look at the time and think, not too much time to talk about it in. What have I got on? Okay, I've got this lovely Mayuru, sort of like a waistcoaty type thing, isn't it? Little top on, and a long grey tunicky thing, and stripy sort of pants, silver and black shoes. No necklace on today, but some bits of jewellery on, earrings, and the obligatory larger glasses, these ones with the red check, which are Vivienne Westwood glasses, and fabulous. And this week, yours truly, or a week or so ago, not this week, but a week or so ago, had her hair, shaved a bit more under here, and anyway, left a bit long on the top so I could do some things with, and some little highlight tip things put through it. Okay, all right. Now, having said that, though, I've been in bed for about 7 days. I got COVID. And then on top of that, I got a whopping sinus infection with it. Misery, kids, misery. I was so damn bloody miserable. But anyway, today's the first day that I'm out of my pajamas, ready to get on with things and ready to get on with life, and thankful that I'm home for Christmas. I was just talking to someone about that a little bit earlier in the day. At one time when I lived in America, and I try to be here at Christmas, but if I wasn't, I sure did miss it. And I just am so very blessed and pleased that I'm home for Christmas. Okay. Let me just recap on the fact that I've been talking about this whole area of creating a side hustle for yourself. Now, this has got nothing to do with how old you are, really. It's, I started off with this thinking, well, it was really for people that, the silver economy, it was really all about people who maybe women who were 50 plus, and, I've been going through that whole thing. But as I've been talking to people and sharing and listening, I realised that for the people that I'm chatting with, it's more about the type of people that they are more than about age-centric. So this could apply to you if you were 25 years of age or 20 years of age, or it could apply to you if you're 60, 70, 80, 90 years of age. So there's no, this has to be for a certain age group, because it doesn't. It really is about if you have an entrepreneurial spirit, if you want to do some more things, if you love being involved in new and different adventures, and you'd like to try something else for yourself. Maybe you're looking at your life and going, I don't want to be doing this in another 20 years or 10 years. Or maybe you're looking at your life going, well, I have done a whole lot of things, and I really thought I'd get to this stage and be able to live off this money that I've got. I'm now realising that I won't be able to, and I'd really like to make a difference, but along with it, I'd like to also make some money. Helping people and contributing to the world doesn't mean you take a vow of poverty. So I'm suggesting that I'm for you. I'm all for you. So welcome to Wednesdays with Wallis. Let me recap on week 1. We talked about side hustle made easy. And so we talked about week 1, we talked about your thing. We talked about those, what that might be, what your thing might be, what gift you have to bring to the world, what is that? What does that look like? So I guess I was sort of leading into what that might be. And then the next week I gave some ideas around what your thing might be, if you weren't sure about, well, what could I do, or what could I create something out of, what sorts of things would I like to do. And we got looking at life and looking at the sorts of things that you might have done in your life. Maybe you've done it in a job, maybe you've done it as a hobby. What might you do in that respect? And then we moved on to week 3, and I talked about multiple streams of income and the fact that you don't have to earn money out of one thing, you can earn money out of several things. But having said that, I want to qualify that and say, but begin with one thing, because don't think that you're going to be doing and juggling a whole lot of balls in the air at the one time and you're going to be doing more than one thing well. You need to just do one thing well, and then from there you can launch on and do something else. And I remember a very, very smart young man many, many years ago called Brendan Burchard. And of course, Brendan is, still doing lots of amazing and wonderful things. And he started Experts Academy in those days. That's a lot of years ago. And he was all about this whole idea of becoming an expert at what you know and what you do and what you're good at, and a bit like, it's the gift you come with. Some people search for things and they don't have to. They came with the gift already, and because it's so simple, they think it should be more difficult. That was me. I was a bit like that. And then, so we talked about multiple streams of income. I touched on that. Week 4, I talked about, do you love the life you're living? And if not, why not? And then perhaps that's a good tap on the shoulder, or might be a little bit of a nudge to say, come on, maybe if you don't want to get, stuck being a boring old fart in a life that you really, really don't like, wearing a mask for the next 10 or 20 years, you might want to little think about that and take a look at whether you love the life that you're living. So they were the sorts of things that I touched on over this last few Wednesdays with Wallis. And I started off having a direction where I thought I might continue on this vein and give you some real how-tos and all that sort of thing. But a number of things have come up, and I'm going to just briefly explain to you in a minute why I'm not going to do that at this point of time. But today, week 5, pardon me, which I'm calling Living Your Best Life. And I want you to do that. I'm so caught up and so impassioned and so enamoured with wanting you to live your best life. This isn't a dress rehearsal. And that I used to hear that, and people used to say that when I was younger, and I used to go, but my God, as we get older, we sure do realise that it isn't a dress rehearsal, and you do only get one shot at it. Perhaps if you haven't had a really good shot at it, or you haven't had that big, audacious dream come true, or you've even, chunked it down to something that you feel is more manageable and more truthful, and that's all a bit out there, and you couldn't achieve it, then I want to suggest to you, don't. I've been guilty of doing that myself. I've done the whole setting up a big goal and a big dream for myself, and that doesn't matter what that is, incidentally. I got really caught up myself in thinking that I'm a car person. I really like cars. So if I got caught up in wanting a car of my dreams and maybe an amazing house with 5 garages to put the cars in, that would be too big a goal. Couldn't really have that, which is crap. It's a load of rubbish. Of course I can. Do I want it? Yes, I do want it. And so we'll see when I'm going to embark on that journey, and I'm going to take you, the subscriber, you, the person who perhaps even today isn't a subscriber and will be coming on board in the future. I want you to come along on that journey and experience that with me. So today I'm recapping, suggesting to you that I want you to be living your best life, setting up audacious goals and dreams, create an illuminating vision for yourself. Is that a bit too much to ask? Is that suggesting that you step out of your box a little bit too far and you'll get lonely for mediocrity? Yes, That's what I'm suggesting to you. I'm suggesting to you that you do what I've done, and that you don't think that you've gone and stepped out of your box too far if you have some huge illuminating vision for yourself, for your life, and for the things that you want. Why the hell not? And if not you, who? And if not now, when? And, you know, that question came up for me many, many years ago. And at the time, it was quite an eye-opener for me, because I remember hearing it and saying it and going, wow, if not me, who? If not now, when? And when you pull yourself up and ask those questions, well, are you nominating someone else for that big, amazing, fabulous dream? And saying, well, no, we'll give it a while, will you? I'll wait 10 or 15 or 20 years for it. If you are, and you're saying those sorts of things to yourself, well, then give yourself a good shake up and get a grip, because that sort of thing, that sort of talk and that sort of self-talk and those sorts of things, for you, forget it. It's just that's a head bang, and it's a load of rubbish. I want you to have an amazing life. I want you to live your best life, whatever that might be, and step outside the box and really soar, and don't have a thing called attached to what you feel is reality, and that you can always go back to reality, because the truth is that, God damn it, at any time, you know, if you want to go back to bloody mediocrity, there's plenty of it. There's plenty of people to join, by the way. So you can go back there and do that. I might sound a little bit hard today. Perhaps it's an overflow from having not been too well for about 7 or 8 days, and being in bed for that length of time, and having a bit of a grizzle, and wondering, you know, when I was going to feel better, and would I feel better, and just feeling a little bit, you know, the age thing. But anyway, I'm shaking that off. I'm over that. It doesn't take me long to come back from things. I'm back. So please think about those things. Now, Wednesdays with Wallis next week will be a whole different ball game. I'm going to be introducing you to some new things that Bold Not Old is now going to be doing. I'm going to be talking about my journey, my personal journey with that, and my personal journey to my big, audacious goal, and how it's going for me, and what it means, and what I'm coming across, what sorts of things are coming up for me, good, bad, or indifferent. I want to share those with you. So I guess this is a bit like a journal. This is my personal journal of change, and you're going to be tuning into that as of next week. And please join in, leave comments below, and subscribe. If you're not already a subscriber to Wednesdays with Wallis, please subscribe, because we're going to be getting a lot more subscribers, a lot more things happening. There's a lot on the go, and I'm going to be sharing all that with you, because I want to put myself out there and say, well, these are the sorts of things I'm talking about. This is the sort of thing that I'm suggesting that you experience for yourself. And I'm not hiding behind a light. I'm going to be all out, all up front, all in for you to be able to follow me on this journey. And I'd love you to do that. Thank you for being present with me. Thank you for listening to this few weeks of talking about creating a side hustle for yourself. And it's probably been more about mindset than what I first started out to do. I was going to give a lot more step-by-step things for you to follow and do, but that's coming. It's going to happen in the journaling of my journey forward, so that you can see that in real time, in real life. I'll share that with you. And it'd be no holds barred. I won't be holding back on anything. If I have a crappy day, you'll be knowing I have a crappy day. If I've had a really amazing, fabulous, sensational week, you'll know about that as well. And in fact, I'll be sharing a lot with you. Join in, And in the meantime, in between time, I want you to have a really, really serious thought about living your best life. Will you do that for me? Thank you for listening. And I'll see you next week on Wednesdays with Wallis. Don't forget to subscribe and like and share it with your friends. Bye for now, and we'll chat soon. Cheers.